Assalamu alaikum everyone, welcome to today's Solana video update, and it's Friday, so have a nice blessed Friday out there, guys. Join the Discord if you're not in the Discord, guys. And here we are. This is where you're going to be getting some text updates and some discussion that we do over there. All right, so Solana has managed to actually make a fake out, and this fake out, you can already see that it didn't actually it did cross the neckline a little bit right there, but then it went near this particular resistance. And I told you in previous videos, if you want to see Solana actually becoming bullish and flipping bullish once again, it really has to, cross this yellow line, and that's very important. But there's a possibility in here, which I'm going to show you today, that Solana can actually do that, and it can actually start to cross this level. And when it crosses that level, it can actually go to $112 that we talked about before. For that one, let's dive into the 4-hour time frame, and it's going to be a very simple chart pattern reading right now. So it seems as if Solana is actually finding that. Is this a support that I'm actually looking at? Yes, that's the support that I'm looking at. Now, this is a good entry point, to be honest with you. I'm going to tell you that. Number one, if I try to bring in the Bollinger Bands, I'm going to show you the Bollinger Bands very quickly. Now, in the Bollinger Bands, this one is actually oversold. What I'm going to do is, all right, so Bollinger Bands, this one right here. And let's talk about the Bollinger Bands. All right, so let me zoom in into a little bit of the details right there. So as you can see, it's at the lowest part of the Bollinger Bands. Number one clue why it's a good entry right now. Number two, if I actually hide the Bollinger Bands, the next thing is that the RSI is actually very oversold. So let's go to the RSI here and look at the 4-hour time frame. It came down to the 40. There's a little bit of a space, of a gap on the RSI, and there's a possibility of this one to actually go just a little bit down, maybe perhaps just dump a little bit further more to the 88, and then from there you start to actually go up. But it's not must, okay? RSI is not only the big indicator to your trading solution. So you have a left shoulder, the head, and this is your right shoulder. That's a bullish pattern. Now, I'm going to tell you the technical target again. So you measure the top to the bottom right there. And when you break out, this is where you actually broke out of. And that's where you're looking to go, 112. So if you're looking for an entry, maybe potentially this would be a nice good entry from there to there. For a 24% increase in prices, that could be actually be a nice beautiful trade, because by the end of the day, you're at the lowest part of the Bollinger Bands. You actually crossed this neckline of inverse head and shoulder, you went down to back test, and you're holding the support. So that's exactly what you want to see. This is exactly what you want to see when it comes to Solana. Now, the RSI on Bitcoin is actually oversold, but the RSI on Solana is not that much oversold. So what's the conclusion out here? Let's talk about it. Okay, let me go to AutoDraw. Let me actually do a little bit of calculations here. So on one side you have the Bitcoin, on one side you have Solana, and let's talk about the RSI. So Bitcoin's RSI on the 4-hour time frame is actually at the 20. Okay, it's really oversold at the 20. The Solana RSI on the 4-hour time frame, it's actually near the 40 right now, and that's not that much oversold the way it should have been. But judging on Bitcoin, the way Bitcoin has been oversold, Bitcoin might have a small relief maybe to the $43,000, and during that time Solana is gonna go to the upside as well, even though this one was not that much greatly oversold. But because Bitcoin is greatly oversold, you might see Solana moving up as well. But one thing that they match in common is the Bollinger Bands. Both of them are at the lowest band, which is a good entry point at this point of time. So a lot of things are coming back to their support, and they're not losing support. Unless you don't see Solana, you can actually close the trade if Solana breaks this neckline, backtest, and moves. Then you invalidated the inverse head and shoulder. Let me warn you this if you're looking to know when to close the trade, because when you take the trade, Number one, before taking a trade, you have to be bold. Okay, you have to be confident. You have to make confirmation as well. Not overconfident, confident only. If you're overconfident, you're just gonna kill yourself out there. So make a bold decision. Be confident. You took the entry. Wait for it to pass out, because you're not. By the end of the day, you're not a fortune teller or a future teller. You don't know if it's gonna go up or down, but at least you're buying at a support level, and you buy and live it. That's the only thing you have to do. And sit down, patience. If after buying, now before buying you have to be bold and confident, but after you buy the coin, what do you have to do? You have to be careful and cautious. It doesn't mean you panic. Sometimes panicking is not going to help, but you have to be very, very confident in your trade, that okay, I have to actually watch out for the loss of the support. If it does lose it, backtest and fail, so the coin is not supporting itself, don't support the coin, and then there's a potential of it to go down to the $69, because once again, let me tell you one thing: you didn't cross the neckline of a head and shoulder. Okay, that's the end of the story. You actually try to go up, fake out, and then you came down. Okay, so the same scenario can happen, that you fail this inverse head and shoulder. And the reason why this one happened is simple. Okay, it's simple. It's because there's gonna be a selling pressure from the sellers, nothing else. The buyers cannot defend the support. So because we do know trading involves buyers and sellers, so if the sellers are heavy more than the buyers, that's when the support gets broken, because the buyers are not defending their own thing. This is just what it means in a simple language, and in technical terms, that's what the support actually holds on the chart. So that's it for this update. I'm gonna see you in the next one. Allah Hafiz.